My guest for today's show is Mark Leidlen and Rob Wellman. They are here to talk with us about social media and how we can use this to leverage social media to improve our impact with our clients. And, it's no secret the internet's changed the world. It's given the little guy the tools to compete with the big guys, and it's given us tools that the big guys only dreamed about years ago. Today, we're going to take a look at how you can leverage the power of social media to grow your real estate business. And with that, I'd like to take a minute to welcome Mark and Rob. Guys, welcome to the program.
Hi. Thanks, Darren.
And Mark, you want to share your screen there, and we can go through a little bit about what you've got here.
Right. We want to address, in particular, social media for the commercial real estate professional. And in this case, we're talking about not only agents and brokers, but also possibly landlords and commercial lenders. So I'll step through things here. Oops, there we go. Just so everybody understands a little bit, I own Social Cuda. I'm a reseller for the company Social 5. Rob is the CEO of Social 5. And we'll talk a little more about our services as we go forward. So anyways, as I mentioned, we're going to try to address the particular needs of brokers, agents, landlords, lenders, as far as how they can leverage social media. So I want to talk, we're going to talk a little bit about the different platforms, especially the big ones, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Blogs and mobile are kind of ground zero for social media. There's plenty of other products out there, and you're probably going to find you're going to mix and match some of these other services depending on what you're trying to do. But these are the key ones we want to talk about. And then we're going to show you some of our plans, and not really meant to be a commercial, but so you can get a feel for the cost of a social media program and what's included, kind of benchmark social media for your own use and see how it fits into your budget. So when we look at the target market for buyers and agents, I was a commercial agent myself for a period of time. Brokers and agents, you're looking for buyers, you're looking for sellers, you're looking for investors, and you're going to have, you may find you specialize in land or industrial, office, retail, multifamily. More and more commercial agents are specializing, especially the newer ones. Do you specialize in a property type, or is it a geographic specialty? Maybe 1031's an area that you want to focus on. Also know in a lot of markets, we have residential agents, and so they're doing residential and commercial. We're not going to talk too much about residential here, but a lot of these same things would apply. But we want to focus a little more on the commercial agent. Are you new or are you an experienced agent? Are you trying to build your business, or do you already have a strong network in place? Landlords are all looking for tenants, and they may be looking for property managers. They may be looking to promote their properties. Lenders are trying to reach out to professionals, the brokers, buyers, investors that are looking for financing or other financial services for their next commercial project. So the kind of the goal for social media, it needs to be treated as part of your overall marketing program. Prospects, customers, they're looking for this engaging, interactive experience on a consistent basis. And a lot of it's not just about what's going on today. It's about where do you want to be a year from now, 2 years from now, when a potential buyer or seller is looking. Who are they going to call on? The guy they just heard from today, or the person that's been in communication with them and sharing information and sharing expertise for the last period of time, whatever that is. So you're using social media not just to promote your services and products, but to create an environment of trust and credibility with your prospects or existing customers to stay in touch and stay pertinent to them. So with that, laying the kind of the groundwork of where we're going with these things, Rob is going to talk a little more about the actual social media platform and its evolution, and then we'll kind of swing back around and tie it all together.
Okay, thanks, Mark, and Darren, thanks for hosting us. This is an interesting way to look at this world of social media. In fact, why don't you back up one slide, Mark? If you think about the evolution of marketing, it took radio 38 years to amass an audience of 50 million listeners. And then television comes along, and it only takes 13 years to reach the same audience. Internet, 4 years. And then think about Facebook. It only took 9 months for this platform to amass an audience of 100 million users. So it's the most transformative form of marketing communication ever. And everybody's trying to figure out how to harness its power. And as you look at Facebook, it's only one of many, but Facebook, Mark, on the next slide, just surpassed 2 billion monthly users. So it is the granddaddy of them all. And to not have a strategy for Facebook in today's business climate is a missed opportunity. And like Darren said earlier, it allows the small guy to look like the big guy. Twitter's number 2, very powerful social media platform. LinkedIn is the world's largest peer-to-peer network. And one of the interesting things about LinkedIn is that it was just purchased by Microsoft for $26.2 billion. This is a really powerful platform. And the reason that we've placed these up on screen is with over 10,000 customers in about 11 countries, we've learned which platforms really matter. And across the real estate industry, these are the ones you need to key in on: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then don't forget that email is still the most pervasive social media platform with 183 billion emails sent every day. So you have to have an email strategy. But don't forget the importance of mobility. About 4 years ago, the mobile device took over the desktop device for accessing the internet. And I just read yesterday that for the first time in history, more shopping has taken place off a mobile phone than a desktop. So with Black Friday and Black Monday, people are using the desktop. And it's interesting, there's more phone subscribers than there are people in the world. So whatever you do, you have to consider mobile as part of your strategy. And those are the key elements for real estate professionals: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and email strategy, wrapping that all together with mobility. So as we look forward, what does that really mean? And what should you focus on? Well, there's lots of platforms, but we want to narrow it again: LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and absolutely Facebook. Even CEOs are there. And then keep in mind the other 2 elements are a blog and email. Those are the things that you ought to focus in on with all the choices that are available to you in social media. Okay, so let's talk for just a moment about this idea of content on your social media platform. When you think back to radio, what is the most popular radio station? It's the one with the best content. And what is the most popular television station? It's the one with the best content. It's no different in the world of social media. Content is king, queen, and everything else. If you're going to play in social media, you have to have engaging, quality, interesting content. And it can't be self-promotion all the time, or you're going to turn people off. Let me show you what we do in the real estate world. We have the very, very best content creation team. Here's an example of our Realtor editorial team. And these are people with 20 years of experience. USA Today, Washington Post, the Association of Realtors. These are the people that write the content for our customers. And one of the things you need to ask is, if you're going to embark in social media, you've got to do content well. And you could do it yourself, or you could hire someone to do it for you. Those are kind of your options. If you had someone like Social 5 do your social media, this is who would write your content. And it's extremely affordable, so it's something to think about. Let me show you what that looks like, just so you can have a benchmark, as Mark indicated. For $400 a month, those professional writers will create your business Facebook page, your LinkedIn page, your Twitter page. They'll create a blog for you and do your monthly email. And they'll create all the content. So on Facebook, they'll create 12 posts a month. Humor, video, imagery, really great information. And it will also deliver an app that helps you get reviews and positive information. And then we'll boost it to amplify the reach on Facebook. And then on Twitter, we'll tweet almost daily for you. And then on LinkedIn, a couple of times a week. And then we'll create an electronic business card so that you can text your business card or email your business card. We'll create a lead capture page that you can capture email addresses and send monthly emails. And by the way, I spoke to the president of the National Association of Realtors the other day, indicated that 87% of home buyers and home sellers would like to use a prior realtor, but don't, because they've lost contact. Having a monthly email strategy keeps you top of mind with prior customers, so that when they're ready to do business again, you're the one on their mind. And he told me that if realtors had this monthly email engine and campaign, that would dramatically change their sales. And again, he was coming from the residential side, but the principles apply on the commercial side as well. And we'll even write your blog posts and provide an analytical dashboard to measure. So if you want to get into the social media game and you want to outsource it to professionals, you're looking at, less than $4,000 a year. You can't even hire your kids for $4,000 a year. So it's a good option for organizations that want it done professionally. Now, if you want to step it up a little bit, the strategy then is to do advertising on social media. And think of it this way: if you put in $200 a month into Facebook advertising, you're guaranteed to reach 10,000 people in a design demographic that you put together. So what we do is we'll design the ads for you. We'll fine-tune the demographics, the geographic reach, the psychographic reach. We'll create multiple ads, tweak them as one's more successful than other. And on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, you're going to be reaching 10,000 people a month in the target audience that you're after. That's pretty cool. It's creepy, really, what Facebook knows about us and what LinkedIn knows about us. And you've never been able to put in few $100s and reach a target audience like you can in social media. It's really powerful, it's measurable, and it's a great ROI. And one of the other nice things you could do, you could participate in a contest where you're giving away a trip to Hawaii, to the Final Four as part of this. So there's quarterly contests where you're given a trip to Cozumel or the World Series, to really build excitement in your social presence. And by doing so, you capture the email addresses of those individuals that goes into your drip campaign. So this is a real powerful program for $850 a month that we call Get Noticed. So again, you get in the game for $400 or $850 a month. You can really dive in and do advertising.
Rob, is the contest, is that something that's like spread across all of the users or the customers of the social platform?
Yeah, really good question, Darren. Instead of having to pay the $10,000 for the trip 4 times a year, we aggregate that across multiple users. But from the consumer perspective, they simply see that the realtor has a contest. They don't know that others are doing this. And then when the winner is selected, It's posted on the page and everyone says, oh, hey, great, that's the guy that won trip to Hawaii. Too bad it wasn't me. But what it does is instead of spending $40,000 to $50,000 to have a contest, you can piggyback on this. We have all the legal work done, and it really has the same ramifications and avoids spending $50,000. So really good question, Darren.
That's great.
Okay, so let me just kind of wrap up. These are options for you to consider. Jumping in the social media game for $400, you can have great content written by professional writers. Or you could jump into the Get Noticed package with the contesting and the advertising. Or we have a high-end package that we call Get Found that gets you listed in all the online directories and tracks all the calls that we're driving and lead generation. But those are some of the things that you can consider getting into the social media game. What you'll find is having a professional organization do it for you. The legal work's done, the compliance done, and the content strategy has been fine-tuned for you by these professionals. What I would say in conclusion, though, whether you use us or do it yourself, these are the principles to effective social media education. And the last thing I'll just mention before I give it back to you here, Mark, is that we've also agreed to give all of these professionals in your organization, Darren, free access to our university. This is Social 5 University with great education. So as part of joining in the service, you're going to have free education online to one of the world's best educational forums to learn about any aspect of social media that you want. And we're going to give you a customized app to preview all of the content ahead of time. So in case you don't like it, you can just refresh to a new piece of content or send your writing team recommendations for change. So you get to preview and edit all the content before it goes live as part of the service. So free education and a preview app of all the content. So, hey, with that, thanks for hosting us, Darren, and I'll turn it back to you, Mark.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I want to mention too. I know for agents, of course, you've got properties you're listing, and that you might have drone footage, especially large commercial properties, land, or large buildings. You want to get your pictures out there. Again, the nice thing about, you want to be looking for a program, and you can do this with Social 5, and that is send the video along or send the pictures along. And the writers will incorporate those into your posts. Or you're not locked out. You can certainly kind of have a dual role and be doing your own stuff too, your own personal posts along with the things that the service is providing. And so that's the nice thing I think about, and something you should look for in a program. You want to be able to still have your own input into it, because that creates those really high touch social media content pieces that really help you drive the business. So I this final screen here, if anybody would like to talk more about these plans, or just talk about social media, my phone number is on here. The website is socialcuda.com. The CUDA is short for Barracuda. We call it social media with teeth. And then there's a sample. Rob had mentioned the mobile business card, and you can see at the bottom of the screen, you see text the word CUDA and the number 5 to 88588, and you'll get my electronic business card sent back to your phone.
Cool. Guys, this is great. I got to tell you, for somebody that's worked to create a social presence, I can attest to it takes a lot of work. Yeah. And for the money to have it done professionally and on the regularity that you've got there, that's impressive. And for anybody that's looking to take advantage of it, I can only recommend, or I can only imagine that it would produce results just based on the fact you're going to create awareness and get your name out there on a regular basis. And like you said, I think that the thing that I've learned most about marketing, I think most salespeople understand the sale is made when you get the check, right? When you collect the money. But marketing is not about that. Marketing is about being top of mind, so that when the consumer is ready to buy, that they're thinking of you, and that you're the one they think of when they're ready to make that purchase. And so that the importance of being top of mind is just that. And it sounds like you guys can help
Yeah,
listeners
and
with
you
that.
really hit on it. I know I've seen you're very active on LinkedIn with your posts and that, and that is, it's that consistency, but it's doing it, on a very consistent, timely basis, and it is hard to find the time to do it. I don't know how, I've been with other companies. We said, oh, we'll do a blog. We're going to do one post every other month, and that took about 4 months before that got old. It's just hard to do unless you really have the spare time.
Right. No, and you got to commit to it, and just the time to actually to write something or prepare content. I mean, to have some sort of professionally prepared content that resonates with the target audience. It's not easy. So,
and keep in mind, Darren, that this writing team works for the real estate agent. So they're going to make sure they understand what type of properties they're doing. It's going to be tailored to them. This isn't just regurgitated content out of another country or from interns. This is a professional writing team that works for you. And one of the magics of social media today is creating a personality. And keep in mind that by 2019, the millennial generation will be the largest generation in American history with more buying power than the baby boomers. They don't read newspapers. They go online and they check out the personality of the company and they choose, do I like this company? Do I want to do business with them? And so real estate agents that don't have a strategy for social media will absolutely get left behind. You got to play here, and either you do it yourself, you hire a professional organization to do it, but doing nothing won't be an option as the social media world continues to take us all by storm.
No, I agree to all of that. And newspaper, what's that, right? Trying to get hold of a newspaper anymore is pretty tough. Guys, before we wrap this up, what's the one thing that you would recommend our listeners do today to get started so they can benefit from the power of social media?
Well, I would recommend that they reach out to Mark, and if this piques their interest, have a conversation with Mark. If nothing else, they'll get education about their own social strategy. So, having 10,000 customers, we learn a lot about what works and what doesn't work. And Mark is a wealth of knowledge. So at least have a conversation with him about how they should do it themselves. And then if they want to, take that a step further and say, what would it really look like for me? Let's talk about me. I think that's a great conversation. Mark can even provide some examples of others so they can see live customers and what their content looks like. So I'd make a phone call or at least reach out and see what's possible.
I actually use the Get Social package myself. So I'm using social media to help me sell social media programs. So I can personally attest to the quality in that. But yeah, I'd be more than happy just have an open conversation with somebody. There's no hard sell on my side of the fence. I just enjoy talking about this sort of stuff and be more than happy to help somebody.
That's great. And the best way to get in touch with you, Mark, what's the best way for the listeners to get in touch?
You could email Mark, M-A-R-K, at socialcuda.com. You can go to the website, socialcuda.com. My phone number is 864-501-6236. I'm Eastern Time. I'm in Greenville, South Carolina. And any of those work, just reach out to me. Got it.
Well, guys, I've enjoyed this, and I'm certain the listeners will enjoy and appreciate this because like we've been talking, it's clearly the path of the future. And if you plan to be in business and be found and be on top of your game, you're going to need some sort of a social platform that people recognize you from. So this is all good. For our listeners, if you like today's show, share it with someone you know. You can either use the share button on your podcast player or copy the link and send a text to somebody and say, check this out. And remember, The more you know, the more you grow. That's all we've got this week. Until next time, thanks for listening to Commercial Real Estate Pro Network's CREPN Radio.